check. All right, we're going to do another follow-up video here. I did a recent video where I talked about the backside of men's thongs. There are so many options you can get now, so many different brands, way different than it used to be in the past. Today's video I'm going to talk about the pouches. And so I went through G-strings, mini cheeks, Rio, T-backs, all that stuff. So let's talk about pouch options. There's a lot here. And what used to be the most common, and this one is not quite there, but they used to be that men's thongs would have like just a complete flat front. You don't see those as much anymore, and so flat front means it's tight and the front of the pouch is all the same cut. There's no indentation and it's just flat and it squishes things down, and you might like that. It's practical in some ways. Speedo swimsuits would be perhaps an example of that. Flat and smushed down, not always comfortable, not acknowledging the male anatomy. So this one is close to it. It has a small contour pouch. It's not full bulge, but it has a small contour, so it does acknowledge male anatomy, gives you some space. So flat front, small contoured pouch, and then you get into the more traditional, I'm going to call it traditional bulge pouch now because they're much more common. This is one from N2N. See the spacing you got there? You put everything in there. It's kind of on a shelf. I think it's very practical for men. I don't know why more brands don't do this. And it, you put it in there. It doesn't, depending on the material, you don't always have a ton of support, but this is a bulge pouch. It's kind of going to present itself outward. It's going to be a full effect, if you know what I mean. And so that's your bulge pouch option. Lots of choices there. You can get into extreme bulge pouches. The smaller the pouch, the more tight the package is going to be and projecting outward. So you have the standard, then you have like a smaller one, then you can get a micro where everything is just barely in, and it takes a bit to place everything in there, and it's not going to be the most comfortable, but it's going to give you that full bulge effect. What else can I show you? So now we're stepping into a bit of there's pouches that have a full rise, so you put this on and you have about like this much of cloth between the business and kind of your waist, so they have a tall front. I tend to like them a smaller rise. This is a tall rise. Sometimes it leaves extra cloth that looks a little bit baggy, but these can be very comfortable. So bulge pouch, kind of angled downward, tall rise. These are prone to riding high, almost like a high waist, almost, not quite. So you can look at the rise on pouches as well. Medium, very small micro, and then tall. Joe Snyder makes a lot of tall rise thongs. This one from MCK I would consider to be a very low rise. You can see where the bulge starts and the waistband begins. It's not a lot of cloth there. Now, one other option that you get into the extreme thongs is the Torpedo thong. I have a few of these, but you can see this one. You got this projected space. These are a lot of fun. This Petite Q brand does a pretty good job about balancing these Torpedo pouches. They fit differently based on what's going on there, the level of excitement, right? So sometimes when you buy these, if it's just business as usual, there's extra cloth there, it sags and it looks kind of silly, kind of like that. But it's party time when other things are going on. This brand does a good job of a happy medium, like not a lot of extra cloth here. You can get others where it's kind of, when it's business time, it's, you know, you got a missile shooting up, but you got a lot of cloth later on. So Petite Q, Giovanna, Muscle Skins are brands that have those Torpedo styles. Those are the different pouches. I like the standard bulge with the minimal rise pouch. What do you like? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Check out my other links. Is this video kind of fun? Did you know this stuff already? Or did I find some new viewers?